Diva. Not this diva is always late. Is he still sleeping from Coachella? Thank you. Give me some grace. My voice sound the same. Okay, let's see, because we have a jam-packed show. So I want to make sure. Cheryl Calhoun, please talk about our. First of all, Cheryl Calhoun, go in order. You have to work tonight or the moment. Hi, Cheryl. Happy birthday. So, congratulations. Okay. So, who else do we have here? Hi, Nate. Life is going well. Okay. So, look, as you all know, oh, we got Lionel. Hi, Lionel. Not Coachella. Coachella was dope. Time of Coachella. It was my first Coachella. I went with two of my friends, Rod and Melvin, and we had a great time. We saw Missy Elliott perform, Gaga, Meg, Money Long, and I'm so mad that I missed Glorilla. I love Glorilla, but Missy was performing first, and shout out to Mona Scott Young. Mona Scott Young hooked everything up for your boy. So Mona Scott Young, if you're listening or watching, thank you, baby. And so Missy was performing. So the way Coachella works is my first Coachella. So the way Coachella works, there's multiple stages, and you have to walk to them. So when Missy was finished, and she did a great job, I was hungry. So I had to go to those vendor booths and got me a falafel sandwich. So I was eating a falafel sandwich, and then I didn't realize that I was missing Glorilla's performance. So a lot happened, Kyle. So I missed Glorilla, and I was not happy about it. But everybody did good. Everybody did good. Everybody did good. Everybody did good. Did you meet any singers backstage? No. No, I didn't. I didn't. But it was great. It was my first Coachella. I recommend everybody go at least one time. It was fantastic. And yes, I am out. Thank you, Shay Savage. So look, I've been on two planes today, and I have to fly out again tonight. I left my USB cord. So my microphone isn't working. Sorry in advance. This is what happens when you're traveling. See how I can fix this. Hold on. Is it going in and out? Oh shoot. Hold on. Okay, I'll try to speak at least directly into the camera mic. Okay. So all of that was good. Good. It was 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 good. I had a good time. Okay. So we have a jam-packed show. Without further ado, let's bring on our very special guest who both celebrated a birthday this past weekend. So first things first, let's give it up for Dustin Ross.
Yeah. What's up, Raindrops? What's up, Los? How you doing, man?
How was your birthday?
Fuck it, my birthday was great. How was Coachella, nigga? That's what we want to know about, Carlos. And I heard you say you didn't meet no singers backstage, but did you meet any rappers while you was there? Did you meet any of those? Did you meet any ball players while you was there? Did you meet any of those? Did you meet any of the executives that was in the crowd? Who did you meet while you was there? That's what we would like to know.
Well, I did meet some dancers.
Okay, yeah, good. See? And I'm sure you had them popping and hopefully locking. Okay. How about that?
Drop Dropping and topping.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's right. Well, that's what's up. I'm
Yeah.
had a good time. It looks so dope. You and your friends was out there looking black and rich as fuck, and we love that. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Did you do anyone or did you do anything special?
I did.
Both.
I had a great birthday, man. God is good. I'm living in a space and place of effort and abundance. So when those two things collide, it's a beautiful, beautiful marriage. Yeah,
How abundant was it?
bountiful. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm happy to be here. I'm ready to pop our shit. Let's get my girl on here. Let's do this.
Bring it up, y'all. Claudia Jordan.
Hey, y'all. Hey, whores. And I say that with love and jealousy.
What's up, birthday girl?
What's up? What's up, birthday boy? Birthday man.
Thank you, birthday woman, birthday lady. Okay.
I had fun. Detroit showed up and showed out for us. It was by far the
word up.
Listen, before Detroit, I thought LA was the best crowd, surprisingly so. But Detroit they were engaging, they were laughing, they were calling back, they were talking shit to us. And the audience, I play a character named Sandra Winslow. They was like, "You so messy, Sandra." They was just talking to us, and it makes it so much easier for us as actors on the stage when you get that instant gratification. So I just want to say thank you to the city of Detroit. And I don't know what people are talking about New Orleans and Houston and Dallas. The best food was in Detroit.
Wow.
We went to Fixins, we went to Floods, we went to
Floods. Oh my God. Floods.
Yo, we ate so good. They took care of us out there. We had a good time. So I had a good time. Good. And I went to casino. That's a whole nother story. But anyways.
Which one? You do MGM or Greektown?
One night I went to MGM. They took me for some money. And then the second time I went back with my friend. Shout out to Kathy. She does all the merch on our play. And she's a gambler like me. She's been kicking it, killing it on the slot machines. And I went and got off my regular game of craps and went to slots and started winning some of it back. But I have a gambling problem. So on the way out, and I was like almost to even, I'm like, let me just try one more. And I gave some of it back. So, but whatever. I'm going to Vegas this weekend for my birthday with the friends. So we'll see. But I had a great time. Shout out to Detroit. But yo, we got a lot tonight. And I got some, as a journalist, I did some investigating. So that's all I want to say.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Here we go.
Carlos, you're on Bendover Lane. There's a sign behind you. I'm just saying it's a sign behind you. Bendover Lane. I caught that right away. Hey.
Claudia.
I want to go to Bendover.
Life imitates art.
Grab your ankles like Meg. Okay, they get mad at us sometimes. We talk sex talk. You know that in the comments? I read all the comments.
So
listen, the more the merrier. Like it's more people who enjoy it than those who do not. But listen, we have a jam-packed show. I am so happy that Love and Marriage Detroit is back.
Yeah, speaking of Detroit, goddamn it. Yes. We have missed. I missed the Thompsons. I done missed everybody. I missed all of them so much. The Smiths. I done missed all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see Detroit back. I love and Marriage Detroit. You know that. So I'm happy to see them back on the screen. Yes.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. We have so much to cover tonight, and I have to fly out tonight to go home. So I want to make sure that Victor. What type of dropping do you be raining? Raindrop. Okay. So bada bing. We are here all night. Okay. So I want to get into Love and Marriage Detroit. We will then get into all things the Real Housewives of Atlanta. There is so much going on this season. There's so much going on that happened, in this episode that Claudia, myself, and Dustin will break it all down. But first thing first, Love and Marriage Detroit is back every Saturday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on the Oprah Winfrey Network. I want to talk about the most talked about scene that happened in this mid-season premiere. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple named the Harris. It's Colby Harris and Russell Harris. So they're married. Colby and Russell have one daughter that is I think she's 4 or 5. And Colby is pregnant at the time with another daughter. So during this season, Claudia, Colby was honest that when she discovered the second baby she's having is going to be a girl, she cried because she really wanted a boy. And the reason why she wanted a boy is because her husband and her daughter are close. And she wanted to have that bond with a son. But when she learned that she's having another girl, she started crying. And she wanted the world to know I'm grateful, but if I'm being honest, I wanted a boy. Fast forward in this past week's premiere, Kobe is talking to her husband about the fact that he neglects to discipline their daughter because in her eyes, he wants to be the good guy. And as a mother raising a girl, she is seen as the bad guy, possibly through the eyes of her daughter. And she called out her frustrations to Russell.
Mhm.
And a lot of people had a lot to say about that. Some people said that Kobe may be jealous of the relationship that her husband has with their daughter, or that Russell is trying to be the good guy and not the bad guy. So unfortunately, he's setting his wife up to be seen through the eyes of his daughter as the mean parent. What did you guys take of that? You want to start, Dustin?
Okay, sure. First of all, like I said, I'm very happy to see this cast back on television. I think that Colby and Russell are two of the most attractive people on reality television. They're a beautiful black couple, beautiful young black baby girl. Well, now two. If you keep up with either of their social media, you've seen their new beautiful daughter and the way their family looks now. Me personally, I'm Team Russell on this one. If I had a baby and my baby was well behaved, you're gonna have the world from me, flat out. Especially honestly, if it's a little boy or a little girl, I'm just gonna be like that with my baby. So I understand where he's coming from. I do not think that there was a toxic jealousy that was presenting itself, because when Colby was speaking about her issues with Russell's lack of input on the development of their daughter, I think that she was speaking from a place of, hey, I could use some more help. Not from a place of, you love her more than you love me. I did not detect a toxic jealousy. Now, we've seen all these kind of crazy relationships dynamics on talk shows and on other reality shows where the mom is jealous of the daughter or vice versa in an unhealthy way. That's not at all what I saw from Kobe and Russell. She just wants some help. You know what I'm saying? And she's really, really pregnant at the time. So she just wanted to make him understand that that's what she needed. So I think they're gonna be just fine.
From what I saw, and didn't she give up her career to back burner to be a mom?
I don't know about not per my understanding. She's still working as an influencer. That's what she did full time. So I think she was able to do that, as a mom.
As a mom, but like, so it seems like she's feeling like, I mean, what I saw from that scene, what I was reading up on her, when you're pregnant, you're going to be emotional, period. And if you feel like, all the way that she's doing everything with the kid, she has to be the bad parent. And that is, I've definitely witnessed that in a relationship before, where the dad gets to just skate on by and just be the fun person, and the mom has to do the discipline. And that the point of having a partner is so you can both kind of share those, and you're not deemed the bad parent out the gate. And it seemed like she's feeling like a little like unheard and invisible, and I remember him saying something like, well, I had this meeting at 6 o'clock, then something at 7, and something I forgot. And that was it. And I'm like, okay, she's got to get up, burp the baby, feed the baby, change the baby, take care of you, do your laundry, do the baby's laundry, make the beds, get herself together, and be an influencer when she has time. So I get her frustration. Like, I'm not really trying to hear about your 2 meetings, or even your 3 meetings. So I see her frustration. And I don't think, I agree with you, Dustin. I don't see a jealousy thing about the daughter. It's more like, and then also, if you had a daughter, and your second baby is another girl, probably in the back of her mind is, damn it, I'm not done now, because he's going to want his boy, and I'm going to want to have to do this again. Oh, we probably both want a boy. So it's like another year of going through this, and I'm already not getting help, having 2 kids in diapers. Can you imagine? First of all, cleaning up.
No.
Baby feet. I know. That's why we were talking earlier. That's why I look so young.
Hell no, I can't imagine that shit. No.
So I just felt bad for her. It seemed like she's just like, I didn't do this. I didn't make this baby on my own. So can you please help a little bit more, like outside of work? Because women, when they're moms, they're expected to have their job and do all the other stuff at home. So it basically comes out to like an 18-hour workday, not an 8-hour workday. So I felt bad for her.
No, and it's true. So listen, so Claudia, to update you too, the moment they learned that the child was going to be a girl, Russell said within 90 seconds, all right, we're going to try again until we get the boy. And she was like, do you not understand what giving birth does to a woman's body? And he's listen, Russell is from Chicago, Midwestern guy. He's very old fashioned. He wants a boy. And it was and you'll see later this season just about the conversation of when you are married to a man and you both want children and you both, like you said, Claudia, want a son. Every father, more than likely, always wants to have a son until they get one. She seems to be like, I tried to have a son. God blessed me with a girl. I have two girls, and that's going to be my life. Do you think it's a woman's, a wife, and a mother's obligation to keep trying to give her husband a son if that's what he wants?
Not in these days. Maybe back in the day, I could see it when like it was a major imbalance of power and money when women felt they had no other options. Like their lifeline was their husband and their husband taking care of them. Women have they have options to have jobs and work and make money. And also not in this time as a Black woman with the mortality rate of women when they give birth is way higher than white women. It's like 5 times more. It's a crazy number, right? And now with this administration, we're okay, try to get pregnant again and have an ectopic pregnancy, which could kill you. And, you know, depending on, you know, where she is, I mean, she's in Michigan, so it's a blue state, but still, like, they're really making it really difficult for women. Like, I would be terrified. I don't encourage any woman to get pregnant nowadays with what's going on, because I had a friend had an ectopic pregnancy and they had to wait to contact lawyers to proceed with the procedure to save her. Meanwhile, she's in excruciating pain. You can die. You can get sepsis. It's happened already in Texas and Georgia. So no, fellas, do not pressure your women. If first of all, it's your sperm that determines the sex of the baby. So it's not her fault she gave you a girl. It's your sperm that gave you a girl. So be happy with whatever amount of kids she wants to have. You're putting your wife's life in danger, like literally putting her in danger. So back, like I said, it's different times now. Like it's a lot different times now. So I think that's to tell her that while she's just finding out she's like what she's having. Let's think about the next one. Sir, can we get through this one? Let me live through this childbirth first. That's a lot.
Yeah, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Not what you're talking about. I mean, the notion in general that a man can tell a woman what to do with her body. It's that simple to me. Like, you can't tell somebody you gotta have another baby for me. Are you out your mind? She's the one with the uterus. So it's up to her if she has another baby. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of that's the perspective that the men in my family have. So that's what I come from. I don't come from a line of men who think they can tell their woman what to do with their body. That's crazy to me. So,
and if you're not helping me now, what's the motivation to have another baby?
Yeah,
like be super dad with this one. So maybe I'd be like, you know what? It was a pretty good experience. I really felt like he took a lot of the load off my plate. I didn't really have that much, you know, I was catered to. Make it a pleasant experience. That's how you get another kid.
And to be fair, what Kobe was specifically referring to, right, was the fact that he was lacking in the discipline area. It was the discipline piece, which is what she was referring to. And that does correlate directly to his bond with the child. He doesn't want to discipline her in that way or be harsh with her. He has a gentle way and manner with her, which honestly is a great thing for a father to have with his daughter, you know? And so that's kind of what I understand Russell's approach with. I believe I would be a gentle parent with my children, certain lines of disrespect and things like that, you know, not performing well in school with the support and resources you need, things like that would be addressed and handled. But I would not browbeat and, you know, take the joy and the sunshine out of my baby. I just wouldn't do it. I'm not going to fuck my kid up to make my point as a father. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to love my babies if I was to have them, which I'm not. So I'm speaking hypothetically. But I understand where Russell was coming from, because I think I would dote on my baby the same way.
You don't want kids, Dustin?
Nah, I don't. But I love everybody else's show. All my friends that have beautiful, wonderful children. I'm a loving presence in their life. And look forward to that. I have a beautiful goddaughter, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not, no, hell no.
I dated someone before that was the father, like Russell, that didn't want to be deemed as the disciplinarian. And I felt like he was making his kids weak.
Well, fuck that. There's
You
a
know?
way to find a balance with that. You know what I'm saying? But we come from an era where a lot of Black parents in our age, our station in life, they feel like the only way is the hard way when it comes to parenting. And that's simply been proven to be ineffective year after year, generation after generation. While you do need to be firm and establish boundaries and shit, you don't have to be mean to your kids. And that's what a lot of people get
Yeah,
fucked
no,
up.
not mean.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be mean. You can be boundary. They can have rules in place and things that they can and cannot do, but you don't have to terrorize your children in order to be effective as a Black parent.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the shit that I would not be down for. And I also wouldn't let my partner fuck my baby up. You know what I'm saying? My partner is not
Mm-hmm.
finna be talking crazy to my kid and, you know, doing and saying things that are toxic. It's just not, you got to put a stop to all of that. As a parent, it's up to you to break those cycles and to really create a new environment for your baby to thrive and learn in. So I personally, I'm not with that, you know, being mean to your kids shit. I'm just not.
And a dad's, there's nothing like a dad's. I think when it comes to discipline, I know this is like a traditional old fashioned way to think. I know I kind of go from modern to old fashioned, but at my core, I
That's
am.
okay.
At my core, I am. Like, I really feel like, you know, when the children respond differently to a father's voice, with the bass in his voice, the authority that he may present. And
Yeah,
it allows the mom to be soft and nurturing and the father to be the disciplinarian. And
yeah,
I think it's like a healthy balance out that I think is very good for children. I would
yeah,
think, you know,
yeah.
and yes, I don't have kids. I see you in the chat. I know I don't have kids, but I was a kid once. We all were, and we can all speak on this. You don't have to have a kid to remember what it was like when you were a child.
Yeah, and to think about the shit you hated as a kid. You know what I'm saying? The teachers you hated that had fucked up attitudes and were unnecessarily just rude and nasty and went out of their way to make it hard for you as a teenager. I remember it's some motherfuckers, if I see them, I don't give a damn how old they are. I'm gonna step on their foot if I see them when I go back home. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't forgot. And I have vowed not to be like that with the young people that I'm blessed to have access to. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do all that to connect and support and encourage a kid's development. So that's it.
No, that's true. I mean, listen, I go back and forth with wanting kids. I'm like 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go to things like Coachella, I just
Is it such a bad? They like to guilt us. Like, what's wrong with you if you don't want to have a kid? Especially a woman. Like, what's wrong with
Nothing.
you? Something wrong with your uterus? Are you barren? Some of us don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And call it selfish, call what you want. But there's a lot of people that probably should not have been parents, that are awful parents. Stop putting that pressure on people that their value is determined off of whether or not they decide to be someone's wife,
Right.
someone's husband, or someone's mom or dad. Like, can
Yeah.
people just like there's all different types of humans that make this world go around. It doesn't have to fit into one cookie cutter mold. Half your mamas and your grandmas were very unhappy in their relationships where they felt they had to be in it because they couldn't even get a bank account or a credit card until 1974. So they dealt with your raggedy ass alcoholic father that was beating her ass because they had to. So don't get it twisted. Oh, back in the day, my parents, your mother was basically a slave. Okay.
And they still hate each other. Your parents still hate each other, FYI. So I just think there's an alternative way to approach all that. And thankfully there are adults like myself, like you, Claudia, like you, Carlos. Think about all the children whose lives we're able to pour into. Claudia, you have a whole foundation gifting prom dresses to students every single fucking year. Carlos, you have countless philanthropical efforts. Let's not start about what you do for your family. And I do my damn thing for the children that I have access to. And we're fortunate enough to be able to do that. So I think there's a great place for all of us. And if you have a problem with me not having kids and liking it, you can kiss my ass. You know I don't care because I love my
kiss
life.
our asses if you can find us when we're on the beach in Aruba with pina colada with no
part.
stress.
That part.
Don't want us to be
I
miserable
do think,
to be miserable. Sorry.
no, I agree. I think it's one of those things where Claudia clocked it. Back in our days, definitely were propositioned to begin with to be mothers. And then a lot of them, unfortunately, did not have a voice in their marriage and they had to have kids. And a lot of them were unhappy. And I think it's this: if you want kids, great, have kids. I do think Claudia obviously made a really good point that people don't talk about a lot. Black women, unfortunately, have a high mortality rate when it comes to giving birth that isn't talked about. So do your research as well. Make sure you find the right doctors, because a friend of mine recently went through that, where she lost a lot of blood giving birth. And so it does happen. And unfortunately, people thought, and by people, the doctors of this particular institution, not all doctors, thought she was complaining and just being, so much of a brat. So listen, have kids if you want them. At the end of the day, the child that I asked to be here, I love my life. If God wants me to have kids, that will come to me later in life. As of today, right now, I have no desire to have a kid. I can barely take care of my dog.
I feel
And
the
he's with
same
me
way.
right now. It's too much. It's too
I
much
ain't even
work.
got no damn dog.
And,
I'm the dog.
yeah.
Oh,
Dustin.
it's really unfair though that like you guys can say that, right? And no one will really bat an eye at you. It's like, oh, sexy bachelor, like, like it's okay, like a distinguished gentleman, you can have salt and pepper hair. It's okay. People will still find you sexy, and you are. But when a woman dares to say that, she is looked at like something has got to be wrong with her. She's probably a whore. She ruined her vagina with all the fucking she was doing and has STDs, or nobody wants her, or she's barren. Trust me, I'm fertile and I know this. Mind your business how I know, but I know. Okay.
Right.
If I want to have a baby, I would. I could, and I could probably still have one now. I get my period every month on time and it's flowing. Okay. And it still gets wet. So I'm saying if I wanted to, I always went back and forth on this depending on the relationship I was in. And I never thought that was a good idea to have a baby based on this relationship. I want to have it like, if you leave me, I'm going to be happy with this decision. And if you don't, I'm happy with it. So I was very mindful from a young age. I never had that, I'm dying to have a kid. I was always, well, maybe, I don't know. And I think you should wait until you have that feeling where you almost can't live without like completing that. Don't do it on a whim. Don't do it to keep some man. Don't do it because, oh, well, I'll get a good check. No, do it because it's in your heart, and it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. And that's okay. And stop shaming women, especially Black women, when we don't want to go down that route. When it's actually dangerous for us. Cut that shit out.
And be mindful of that when you're talking to women. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking to women in an introductory sense, right? And you ask them questions like, oh, do you have kids or whatever? And a lot of times, because my sister doesn't have children, you know what I mean? And I've seen people respond to her like, oh, wow. To me, I don't know. It's just a very personal thing. So I think people need to give a little bit of grace and be mindful of that when they're speaking to women. You don't know what kind of sensitivities are attached to, them being childless. I think it's just something people need to be mindful of.
And I'll share something else. I had a miscarriage one time before, and it was the worst. And I actually wanted that baby. It was a very traumatic experience that I suffered through it by myself on my bathroom floor. It was very horrible. And the guy that I was with, who proclaimed his love for me, didn't even check on me. Why would I want to put myself in that situation again? Like, I'm sorry, I'm in no rush to do that again. And it did, the one time I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm ready. And that's what happened. God was protecting me. I have to think that, it was probably going to be a very horrible situation. And a lot of times you have a miscarriage if something's wrong with the child, in your uterus. And it just wasn't anything that I was like dying to do after that. So again, like Dustin says, be mindful. You don't know what the woman's situation. She could have been raped, which most women have been. She could have had a miscarriage. She could have tried, or breaking news. She just might not want
the motherfuckers. Yeah.
And that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Claudia, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Oh, it's cool. It'll be chapter 52 of my book of traumas. One of many stories. I'm fine.
All right. Well, make sure I write the foreword. Okay. So moving on to the next thing. To get into the most recent episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. As we all know, last week, the legend, the icon, the forever Moore man, Kenya Moore, is no longer on the show. Before we get into that, I want to do a little bit of, I want to have a conversation about some things that have been happening on social media leading up to this past Sunday's premiere episode. So as we all know, Kenya Moore is no longer on the show. The network decided to not move forward with her. Their words, based on her behavior. Those were their words. Subsequently, Brit Edie did a press tour this week, and apparently Porsha did too, because Porsha has a YouTube channel. So make sure Rain Josh also support Porsha. It's at Porsha 4, the number 4, real, REAL. And Kenya Moore also has a YouTube channel where supposedly tomorrow, I believe she's dropping her first time speaking on the incident. What I want to get into is Edie did an interview. I want to say it's called Housewives Nightcap, if I'm not mistaken. And she shared that she really expected Kenya to apologize to her. And that's not what she received. Porsha on her YouTube channel revealed that allegedly a current housewife who is still on the show allegedly gave Kenya some photos that she displayed on the poster board. Kenya Moore responded to Porsha and denied it. But Porsha revealed this on her now YouTube channel. So I want to get into that first. How do you guys feel about the fact that allegedly somebody who is currently on the show that is a housewife allegedly gave Kenya those photos? If that is the case, does that change things for you guys?
Claudia, ladies first.
I don't give a fuck about that because they all do it. They all do it. Porsha, you do it too because I did a season with you, okay? I had to hire a private investigator after my car was broken into and my laptop was stolen. Once again, it ain't about me, but I'm just giving you context. They all do this kind of stuff. It depending if you don't like someone, you might slide someone some information. People do that all the time, every season. This is not breaking news. This is not the gotcha moment you want it to be. It's really not. They all do this on the show. We also know that Porsha and Drew don't like each other, right? They got their issue, right? So maybe she's trying to kind of throw her under the bus. Because if you have say who it is, don't give us the breadcrumb. Just say it, girl. Be about that life and just say it. I don't think that's a big deal at all because they all do it. They slide people information depending on who you're in allegiance with, and it's not the gotcha moment that you wanted it to be. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Claudia on this one. I really don't give a shit either. What are we supposed to do with that information? There is somebody who gave her them pictures. She so the fuck what? I'm not excited about it. It does not offer any additional insight nor context. It's just a complete dud. It fell completely flat. So listen, if you're gonna offer commentary or do after show commentary and talk about the show, have something to say. While I do enjoy Porsha's bubbly personality and love looking at her beautiful face, if she ain't talking about nothing, we're wasting our time. So I'm not going to continue to go over to her YouTube channel and watch her eat and just pretend to be aloof about certain details that I can pretty much guarantee she's aware of and just not being forthcoming about. So I don't know, get it. I hope these ladies make all the YouTube revenue in the world with their recaps. I think it's great that they do it. It reminds me of old housewives when they used to write the weekly blogs on bravo.com or bravotv.com, whatever the website is. It's basically just a new interpretation of that. So have something to say. I do love that Porsha's YouTube channel is called Don't Make Me, or her show is titled Don't Make Me Call Porsha. I think that was cute and funny for her to use that and play on that. But you got to be talking about something, darling, because you saying that there's a housewife who all these blind items. It's just it's not helping us out as viewers. We don't care. I don't care. And Claudia don't care.
I want to add one more thing. I also think she loses credibility because she tried to start a little mess with that I know things about your husband, then never mind thing to Angela about Charles Oakley.
Yeah,
and then
what the fuck is that?
And Porsha, I know people think I hate Porsha from something from 10 years. I don't hate her, but I'm just honest. I don't protect her because I don't have a friendship with her. I don't protect her. And yes, I can be biased sometimes about people that I like. And I know, of course, we all do it. We all do it, okay?
I tell you, I do it. I don't give a fuck.
Yes, we do it. We do it, okay? But I don't have any emotional attachment. So when you don't have an emotional attachment, you can be very honest about how you feel about something. You could just say it how it is. I don't like that thing about Charles Oakley. I did not think that was necessary because I will say this. I do like Porsha a lot more this season than when I was on it with her. I like her more than I've ever seen her before. I did like the growth of her and Kenya kind of patching things up. I love that Porsha offered to let Kenya be in her car because like that is such a I will give anyone credit that can grow and evolve. I thought that was dope. I thought
Me
her
too.
temper has not been as bad as it was in the past. The old Porsha would have already fought 4 people by now and kicked somebody in the pussy. And I think that's great that she moved on. No, I'm giving props. I think she looks really cute. She's come with the glam. I don't like the jealousy thing with Shamia, but I
Ooh,
gotta
me
give her.
either.
I gotta give her the points where she should get the points. I do think she is still, she it's a little bit of a dead without the Simon storyline, but she's still, in the mix and stuff like that. And she is when Porsha is fun, she is fun. She is a fun girl. We hung out before, like before all that shit. She is a fun girl, and that's the one we want to see. Don't you're too much of a reality show vet, Porsha. You don't have to do these fake like, I know something that you don't know, or I heard and then not deliver. Like that's like a rookie thing. That's not someone that's a veteran that you are. You got this without that. Just be fun and cute. Like people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, Kenya Moore denied it. Kenya Moore denied the fact that somebody gave it to her. She said that did not happen. What was interesting about the banter between Kenya and Porsha on social media, it reminded me of what Claudia was saying. Like, the reason why I think we all love Housewives, for example, is because when the tough gets tough, it gets going, but there always seems to be room for like some levity. And their back and forth, it wasn't gross. They didn't like call each other out their names. It was a very nice, nasty back and forth. That was a dash of shade. But it made me miss the fact that we're not going to see those two have those moments on camera. Because the moment they started bantering on social media, I was like, this is why I want to see the two of you back and reunited. There has been conversations about whether or not Kenya Moore should attend the reunion. She did start her YouTube channel. So maybe she's confessing there, but Dustin, you believe she should be at the reunion?
She deserves to be at the reunion. This has Kenya attending the reunion for season 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her needing the necessity of her presence has nothing to do with whether you like her or don't, whether you agree with her decision to post those photographs and posters or not. She's a part of the story of the season, and we were abruptly, I feel like our viewership was interrupted by her departure. We never got to see what she had to say on the show. My only thing is I don't understand, fuck agreeing with, because it's not about whether I agree with it or not. I don't understand why she's doing that YouTube thing and calling it Confessionals My Way. I don't understand why she's choosing to speak out in response to things that people have said. I understand that she's upset about her departure and she felt like she was done wrong, so I understand that part, but I just feel like she's taking the complete wrong approach because it's making her look bitter. It's making her look as if she's not taking accountability for her choice or decision to post those damn pictures and show those posters. And it just does not leave a good impression on her exit from her participation, from that view. I wish that Kenya would just be quiet, okay, first of all, and commodify what she has to say. Look at what Brit Edie did. We didn't hear nothing from Brit Edie through her nose until after everybody else had done their press run. Everybody else had offered context. Everybody else had made posts online. Now Brit is talking. Now the episodes have progressed to a point in the season where her take or her say is something of interest now. And so she's offering it. To me, she's winning the PR battle between her and Kenya right now. And that ain't got nothing to do with what side you on as far as the shit on the show. I'm talking about the way that it's being handled in the aftermath. I am disappointed in the way Kenya Moore is handling this because I feel like she deserves better.
It seems that she's doing that. To me, that shows me that she knows she's not gonna be at the reunion.
Damn, Claudia, you think so?
Yeah, because like if she knew Kenya waited all this time to tell us, for us to find out that Brit had a gun, right? And I never knew that about this gun thing. She's a patient person. So I think she did the YouTube channel because she knows she's not gonna be at the reunion. So it's like, let me get ahead of this and just say what I gotta say. Because the Kenya that we all know would be like, okay, I'm gonna shut the hell up and I'm gonna drop it on the reunion. She probably knows she's not able to do that. My opinion. I could be wrong. Carlos, what do you think?
Okay, I think this. I think when it comes to Kenya, I agree with Dustin in the sense of I am pleasantly surprised, and I'm being real when I say this. As a producer, I am pleasantly surprised that Brit Edie decided not to say anything until the episode aired and she was on her press run. I will give her round of applause for having that much strength to not crash out on social media. And I do mean that. I do mean that. She and Kenya arguably have the biggest storyline in the history of that show.
Mhm.
So the fact that she had enough stability to say, I'll wait until I go on my New York press run, I'll give her props with that 1000%. And I think she handled it well. But we also have to remember, though, Brit also has confessionals in the show.
Mm-hmm.
You get to hear Brent, Lord Jesus. You get to hear Brit's POV. You get to see Brit's slice of life. You get to see Brit as a sister. You get to see Brit as a friend. I think Kenya Moore, as somebody who has given her blood, sweat, and tears to the show and not being able to have a voice, literally meeting an interview on the show where she's able to give us some context around the edges of the scenes. I think it's difficult to watch a show that you've been on for 10 years, 10 plus years, I believe, and you're watching a story be told without your point of view. That is frustrating. I don't agree with a lot of things Kenya does. Me and her have that friendship, and we talk about that. But I will say, when it comes to the way she's handling it, as somebody, you guys know her too, but as somebody who knows her, I'm also surprised she hasn't fully crashed out. The Kenya that I know would have crashed out in a way that would have been way more damaging. I think Kenya has been very respectful when it comes to what she says about the network. I don't think, unless you guys disagree, I don't think she has said anything damaging to them to where she can't go back from it. Right? We've seen other people have that fate. I don't think Kenya has done that just yet, or will do that. Let me just say that. I think we have to look at a woman who has spent her entire decade career on reality television as the force multiplier, as the person who gives you great shade, and now she's unable to do that. I'm curious what this YouTube channel will be. Maybe it's a one and done thing, Dustin, to where she says one thing and she's out the door. She did post today to have her fans submit questions. She's calling it a Kiki with Kenya. So maybe it's something where she's doing what Porsha's doing. Maybe she's eating food and she's whatever the case may be. But I agree that I would like to see her at the reunion. I would like to see the story be finished to where her and Brit can face each other. And I've seen Brit say that, yeah, apologize, but I think, and to Brit's credit, she did attend the hair salon with flowers with the intention of apologizing. So I'll give her that. She had the intention of doing that. So she at least had the intention. And I would love to see them both apologize to each other face to face versus they're both apologizing about it separately.
They could be at the reunion together. They're sitting way apart from each other, because after watching last night's episode, Brit is a total crash out. I think she's a little unstable. The way she popped off at Angela and tripping, and she was like so ready to buck up. And you see, it's not just like her Kenya thing; it's her anyone thing. I think she has a very highly inflated sense of self, where everyone can, she can say whatever anyone else and be bratty and be obnoxious, but they can't dare question her. All Angela did was ask her if she really was fired or she lost her insurance license. And the way she said, are you confused about what's been going on? I thought that was like, you're just misdirecting your anger.
She called her slow.
And the way she bucked up, it shows that she's been trying to have a moment from the beginning. And I'm sorry, I don't like her now on the show. I don't know her personally in real life. So before you get all panties in a bunch, Brit, I don't like you on the show. I think you bring very much ghetto energy. I can't take your very nasally sounding nose, the way you talk. It's just like, whoever did that, please open up those nasal passages. It's too much. Like, it's like, how does your husband's a saint? I don't like you anymore. The way you bucked him. How we are protecting Angela Oakley and all costs, by all means. Okay. The way Angela didn't even ask me anything that was negative or mean. She said, I'm a broker too. Like, how does that happen? And I did my research. Well, a little bit of research. There's a LinkedIn page for Brit and her company that she was doing her insurance stuff with, right? And I contacted a real estate agent and also someone that is in the mortgage brokerage business, Brit Eady. According to her LinkedIn page, she was with Allstate full time, and that was from January of 2020 to April of 2023, 3 years and 4 months. So it says that she's been done doing it. So I don't know if she lost her license from this incident or she just, I don't know. And I also talked to someone that said, I said, so can you lose your license for, is there like clauses for personal behavior and all that kind of stuff? Like, what do they call those?
Morality clause.
Morality clauses.
And my friend that did my loan said, no, there are strippers that do all kinds of OnlyFans, all that kind of stuff, that have these licenses that they don't lose their jobs. So that is bullshit. They said she would lose her license for financial crimes, fraud, things of that matter. Not if, and think how fast it's happened, right? We are all just seeing the episode now. This happened when it happened. So you mean to tell me between that, the Kenya Moore hair care event, and then a month later, your company knew about this big scandal that was at a private event, and you lost your license? I think she's playing the victim card extra hard now. Like, she sees an opening. She tried to come for the queen in her mind. That didn't really pan out the way she thought. She got read down and made to look like erratic. So now let me play this victim card thing. And do you see how her mother was looking at it when she was telling her story? Her mother was looking at it like, then at the end, she realized, oh, I'm on TV. Yeah, that girl, because you're pretty. And, they hate on you because you're pretty, girl. But I look at her mother's face. Go back. Her mother was like, here we go again. That's what I got. That's what I got from that. But
well, to be fair, they were talking about pictures of her sucking dick. So I think anybody that was talking to their daughter about somebody showing pictures of them sucking dick would have that face. You know what I'm saying? I had the face, and I didn't even see her sucking the dick. But I personally think that Brit definitely approached that garden table, Kelly's event, with a clear and apparent chip on her shoulder. She was absolutely defensive, and she was looking for something to defend in that moment. I also, though, right, this week's episode, we saw way more of Brit's POV. We heard way more of her perspective on what happened, what went down, right? And I don't know, just seeing her discuss that situation with her husband, seeing her discuss that situation with her mother, it humanized her for me as a viewer, right? And I was just very aware of like the humiliation piece of it all, right? And I'm like, damn, this is really okay. Now I see, because initially, as this was going on and being talked about and people were having these shock reactions to this incident, I was thinking, this is a terrible thing that took place, but I hadn't seen Brit talk about it. I hadn't seen Brit talk to her husband about it, talk to her mother about it. So once we were fortunate enough to kind of get that really personal moment on camera, I felt for her. I did. I felt for her in a different way than I did when I watched the shit on TV last week. I felt for her differently than I did when I watched her post things online about it when it's initially made news that something happened in Kenya, had been released from filming. I don't know, it just humanized her. I felt for her last night when I watched that show. That don't mean that I didn't think she had a nasty attitude at that garden table luncheon. That doesn't mean that I don't think that she was completely rude and nasty and aggressive to Angela Oakley, who I love on the show. Yes. That doesn't mean that I don't think that she was clearly and definitely, like, I agree with you, Claudia, she was gunning for Kenya, who she deemed a big dog, and I think Brit kind of may have, I'm assuming, that she always saw like a villainous role for herself on this show. She exudes that sort of energy, a pretty villain like Kenya. It would have been nice to see Kenya and Brit be mean girls and run the show together in a nasty way. Sorry, I know it's probably toxic to say that, but it would have been nice to see Kenya have a partner in crime on this show like what we thought her and LaToya Forever were going to be in season 13. We would have had two beautiful women with sharp tongues and unique tones of voice who could have really been interesting on this show together, but we got robbed of that. I'm a person who thinks Kenya belongs on the show. I just felt for Brit in this last episode. I did.
Carl, did y'all catch the one thing? And it's one thing when you are, you made a sex tape with your boyfriend and he exposes. That's a horrible thing, and shame on that man if he put that out there, right? That's disgusting, right? I understand a woman that feels like, damn, why are you gonna put me out there like that? That can happen to anyone who's not a virgin, right? But she also slipped something by us real quickly, a throwaway that we're not giving any attention to. I was a webcam girl. If you're a webcam girl, naked pictures of you on the internet are not humiliating. That's how you got your money. And I think we have to talk about that just a little bit, because if you're a webcam girl, you take requests what these men want you to do. Hey, put $500 in there. Can you play with your pussy a little bit? Can I see it? Can you spread it open? Can I see a titty? So I don't personally, I'm not buying that this was so humiliating. Maybe on Housewives with your rebrand, now that you're married, you might be like, well, that's in my past. But like she's really putting 10 on 20 now. Not to say you can't change, you can, but think of the psychology of someone. The video of her and the picture of her with a boyfriend, that's foul. Okay, let me be very clear. I'm very supportive of any woman that has happened to, because that's horrible. But the webcam girl, that's almost where I'm like, you had your naked stuff on the internet. I'm sorry, go ahead, Carlos.
No, please finish.
No, I've been shady enough. They're gonna think I hate her now too.
No, it's fine. No, I will say this. Okay, I wanna go back with Dustin and then with you, Claudia. I agree with Dustin. Listen. Regardless of what your past is, and we've all had a past, right? Nobody wants to be reminded of something that you may have gotten over and gotten through. I did feel, obviously I feel bad for her. It's humiliating for that to be shown with your peers, especially as you're trying to get to know these new women on the show. And then it's at an event, right? So I understand the tears from being humiliated, because yes, I may have done that in my past. However, nobody should ever be judged by things they've done in their past. We've all had a past. Yeah. So I agree with Dustin. I felt bad with her there. I will say this though. I clocked the webcam thing. Thank you for breaking down the definition of it, because as a little gay boy in Detroit, Michigan, I wasn't looking at the webcam,
Not
just
that
then.
one.
I was watching Blair Underwood on Law and Order, child. No, LA Law.
And the white nigga on Oz. Who was the white nigga that used to be naked on Oz? You know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. He on Law and Order or something now. But go ahead.
So doing that. Ooh, let's watch LA Law, please. I digress. Anyways, moving on. I also clocked the cavalier word teenager. And I want to stop there, because I'm going to stop there because I want to add to what Claudia was saying. Teenager, the definition of as a journalist, right, means 13 through 19, right? My opinion, I felt the insertion of teenager left a lot of room for innuendos. And for me, I felt that could be seen as dangerous, because I feel like I applaud her for admitting to the webcam thing, right? I would, and maybe she doesn't remember the exact age, but I would have preferred if she could have put an age to it. I was this teen, I was that teen. I think saying teenager leaves a lot to the imagination, and I just think that's dangerous based on some things that we have been hearing that she possibly could have been underage. We just don't know. So I would have liked for her to say that. The other thing I clocked with her mother is this. I would have preferred for Brit and maybe it's happening in future episodes. I don't know. I personally would have preferred for Brit and her mother to talk about why a teenage girl with a mom is in that position. I was really looking forward to a conversation of I felt abandoned. Mom, you weren't there for me. You know, I felt the focus of the conversation wasn't enough for us to really get to know Brit on a deeper level. I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to take it back. I don't want to hear about Kenya now that she's not there anymore.
Me
I'm
either.
hoping this is the last episode where the focus is on Kenya. I understand talking to your husband about Kenya. Got it. Good. I understand talking to Kelly about Kenya. Got it. Good. That conversation with your mom, I felt it was a repeat of what I saw with the husband and what I saw with Kelly. And I wanted Brit to have a deep conversation about why a teenage girl is in that position in the first place, so that we could shed light on the life choices that girl had to make, and why her mother is there with her. So I felt like Brit missed the mark in terms of really going deeper with letting us know who you are, because I feel bad for you. I know you feel humiliated, all those things. But it's a lot of the people on social media, which is surprising to me, if I'm being honest, they're not really, they're a lot of them are Team Kenya. And I'll just be honest. I am shocked by the people who aren't really feeling Brit's remorse.
And to be clear, we have to reiterate it. We're not approving, condoning what Kenya Moore did. That wasn't good. It was actually career suicide for her participation.
It was stupid.
It was stupid. And
Not cut you off. All three of us for the past 3 weeks have said she was wrong. So so stop. People,
right. They want to say that we're making excuses for her. No, we said it was wrong. It was stupid. But when you see it play out with the whole thing, how it led up to that, I get, sometimes people say you can't hurt someone and judge how they
tell them how to respond or
right. But we pick and choose if we like the person, right? We like the person, hey, you can't, we gotta be like, I don't know, if I was Kenya and a girl talked about a gun, whether she had it on her or didn't, you talking that big talk, gun talk, I'm taking you out. And I'll probably do some crass out shit that might not really be seen as morally correct. I totally understand that. Is it right? No. But is the thing right that caused you to do it? It's not right. No. But if you think about human emotions and how you would really be, everyone that's watching the show, let someone say that, and then you expect them 1 week later or whatever it was to be kumbaya and accept some flowers. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck you and your flowers. It's not going to take you showing up at my event because you had to be there because you were shooting a show for me to say, okay, that's something you have to massage and really work on that. And you knew you weren't going to get that. You knew you watched Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're a fan. You had to know that was never going to go over. It was going to give you another big popping moment. And that's that. Let's call it what it is. It's a TV show. Okay. And that was some fake ass apology shit. I felt like it was fake.
It is a TV show, which is exactly why Kenya should have been more astute as a veteran member of this cast than to react to what she was uncomfortable with or felt made to feel unsafe by doing something stupid like what she did, which essentially robbed herself of the opportunity to be on the cast. That was dumb. And it was dumb on a professional level from that lens. And then let's take it to the street, right? What is this? What is the impact of you doing? What does this do to, how do you win by doing this? I personally just don't see how the win. I don't see how you can be scared for your life because you say somebody threatened you with a gun, and then in your mind you say, yeah, I know how to get her ass. I'm gonna show them pictures of her sucking the dick. That's gonna get her. I just don't see the correlation. It just doesn't make sense for me either way. And I hated to see Kenya go out like that because, again, I feel like she should be a part of this cast. So for me, it's just I'm just over the whole situation. And I'm with Carlos actually on this. I don't want to hear no more about Kenya. we can talk about the fallout and the way it's impacted the group dynamics and the relationships amongst the group within the group that are remaining. But I don't want to hear about the Kenya piece of it all anymore. If we're going to keep talking about Kenya, bring her back to filming and let her be here to speak for herself. If not, let's just move on from that piece of the story. So I
Because
agree.
if that's all you got for the season, just talk about how woe is me. I was a
Why
teenager.
she gone?
Were
If
you a
that's the
teenager
case.
at 19 or were you underage? It was still bad, but one's illegal.
Oh
one's
yeah.
not.
To that piece too, the underage piece. Carlos, you're right. That's it's very it is a very sensitive allegation to make towards someone that they did anything sexual in connection to somebody being underage, right? You can't play with that. So that gray speak that she used with that and that umbrella term of teenager, you're right. You got to be specific when you're talking about legal shit like that. You can't make those allegations because if Kenya didn't do that, that's a terrible thing to say that she did. So I agree with that. That was, what do they call that? Nasty work, using the word teenager, right?
She
That's
knew
what
what
it
she was.
was.
I think she knew what she was doing when she did that. Like
100%.
we know what the word teenager implies, but like you could be 19 and like there's one thing. It's either way. It was in poor taste. It was horrible taste. It was stupid. It was wrong. It was bad. We know that. But oh, I was just a teenager. When Porsha said that too, like y'all are putting 10 on 20 right now. If she was 19, right? But you know what you're trying to do. Again, the victim storyline for this entire season is gonna get old because after now Kenya's not there anymore. What else you got for us after this? What else do you have after this? And I just feel like she's putting 10 on 20. And I hate that Kenya made this rookie mistake that allowed this girl to play this role and be the victim now over and over and over. And she was a victim that night. Okay. But do you think for a moment that Bravo would even air any parts of that scene if they knew, and they will find out, right? If in those pictures that girl was actually underage? Absolutely not. Bravo is too smart for that. They're not going to let that happen. If there was, in fact, a picture of Brit when she was 16, I think the age of consent in Georgia is 17, I think.
I don't know.
If she was like 16 in those pictures, we would have never seen this scene ever. Bravo would have shut that shit down, in my opinion. I don't think we'd ever even know about it. They would have been like, nah, none of this stuff is good. They would not be a part of that, I think. I don't know.
Shout out to Angela Oakley for piping that scene up though at the table, because Angela was asking the motherfucking questions that she was asking the preguntas that were on the piso, okay, for our Spanish speaking viewership. She was asking the right motherfucking questions that day. Angela said, okay, so what, she said, yeah, but you can't start there. She said, you're not acknowledging the part you played in getting it to this point. She was nailing Brit's ass to the wall, and Brit was not able to take that and receive that at the moment, but she started it by bringing that negative energy. What is she asking? Are you slow? Or whatever she said to her. She was nasty. Yeah. So I like, and plus, y'all know I don't care. I'll be biased sometimes. I like Angela. I've been enjoying the hell out of her this season. I like Angela Oakley. I like what she's bringing to this show. So, I thought that was of note that Brit was really the one responsible for making it nasty at the table like that.
Carlos, I like what you said earlier about I know I've been giving Brit a hard time tonight, and I acknowledge that, and I receive that, and I will stand by that. I have been, but I too think that I like complex characters on shows where they have you see one thing about them, and then your mind is able to be changed because they are vulnerable in a scene, and they give us. If she would have said something about why she was in that position, why she felt abandoned, why she felt she had to do that, why that was the only option. That could have changed our perception or give us a little bit more understanding. I like to know the why. No one just goes and becomes a webcam girl just because it's fun. There's a story behind that.
Some people like it. Some people just want to be free. They want to show what they got.
That's true.
That's
true.
But the thing is this though. The thing is this. It's one of those things where Brit is a beautiful woman.
Yes, she is.
And I'm gonna say this, for example. When we did season, I believe it was season 8 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya Moore was on that show seasons 5, 6, 7. So 3 seasons prior to season 8. Long story short, Kenya was seen as like this villain, right? Oh my gosh, she's a villain. Why is she mean? We had an opportunity to go to Detroit, Michigan. And I fought for that scene because I said, I in order for the world to understand Kenya, you have to go backwards and understand the girl that she was.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, and this was all Kenya's doing, and that's why Kenya was a joy to work with. When we went to Detroit, Kenya knocked on her mother's door.
I remember
and I got chills.
Mhm.
And Claudia, you may not remember this. So her allegedly was her mother. I don't know because we weren't inside the house.
She wouldn't answer.
Kenya heard the door lock
Mhm.
and said, "Oh my God, I'm about to get checked out." Kenya heard the door lock on her and heard a woman's voice, allegedly could have been her mother. I don't know. Say, "Don't answer the door." And Kenya was crying out for her mother. And in that very moment, this is a true story. In that very moment, me, the producers, everybody involved said, "We now get it. We now understand it." Not making excuses for Kenya in terms of the adult woman she is. However, when you learn something about who a young girl was in their youth, I promise you, you will find things that make sense in terms of who they are as an adult.
Mhm.
I have people to this day stop me and say, that scene alone made me see Kenya in a very different light. And that's what I was saying about the scene with Brit and her mother. I felt like Brit was on this F Kenya campaign train. And I get it because you were emotional at the time. But I still feel like, unfortunately, I don't know her. I don't know her. I don't know her. Who I do know, Kelly, I love you, but I got a confession to make. Angela is not my number one favorite newbie. But Kelly, I still love you though. But Kelly, I gotta be honest. Take your spot, at least this week. Angela Oakley. I know who she is. I as a wife, I know who she is. As a mother, I know who she is. As a friend, I know who she is. As a person, the way she clocked Brit Edie, I'm sorry, and said to her, "Now wait a minute," like when she said, "Read the motherfucking room," and she said, "Now wait a minute, like what we doing here?" Is superb.
Yes,
I
she
would
is.
Angela should have been on the show in the days of Nene, Kim, and Sheree, because I would have loved to see how she would have the dynamics with those OGs. I think Angela, because this is the thing, Angela wasn't there to be on someone's side, and I think, look, this is not a bad thing. Everybody deserves a friend like Kelly. Hell, I want a friend like Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, I
is,
know you watching.
What's
I
up,
got your
Kelly?
message.
She watches.
She watches because we have a mutual friend. And I don't reveal my sources, but she told my friend that she heard me say some really nice things, us all saying nice things about it, and she liked it. She said,
That's what's up.
So shout out to Kelly.
We fuck with you, Kelly. We like you on the show.
Do your thing, Kelly. We're going to hang with our mutual friend when I come to Atlanta. I'll be there on my play. I'm going to invite you to play on May 15th and 16th, I think it is, in Atlanta. Something like that. I'll have my people reach out to your people.
Yes, people. I love it.
Don't bring Brit.
And the gag is all the housewives watch it. But anyway, so moving on.
Can I just say something real quick, Carlos? I know that I'm hard on certain people, and people have made me keenly aware. I know that. And people say I defend Kenya. It's when you're brave enough, and I will do this with anyone that is brave enough to explain their villain arc. You know, when you watch a scary movie, I mean, a movie where there's a villain, and then you go back. Like, I used to think the witch in Sleeping Beauty was so evil, and then Maleficent came out, and you got her side of the story of why she is the way she is.
The origin story.
The origin story, yes. Brit, Porsha, Nene, Phaedra, Kenya, all of you. When you decide to be vulnerable and share what is the thing that made you the way you are, that the things that we don't like or whatever, you will get the other half of the people that don't like you like that to love you, and we can understand why you do the things you do. I just think it's a good idea to, if you feel confident enough, to share things about you that maybe hardened your heart or made you come off cold or whatever. It makes you more human, and then we can relate to you, and then we won't judge you based on this half a story you're giving us. We got the full picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that will help every reality star when you can say what really is the issue. That's why I love people like Mimi Faust. She'll tell you abandonment issues, abuse, father wasn't there, mother wasn't there, bad choices in relationships. And that's why I can defend someone like that, because I understand why. It's the why. Once we know your why, we won't judge. Like we can say we don't judge. We all judge. Okay. We all judge. We all judge. Okay. Whether it's our group text or on whatever. We know your why. We can understand you better. And I promise you the criticism won't be as harsh because we get it. That's all.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to shift gears a bit and get into the scene that Porsha had with Shamia, Drew, and Kelly. In this scene, Porsha is revealing to the girls of a conversation that she had with her daughter. In this conversation she had with the girls, she's discussing that her divorce with Simon and how her daughter PJ asked where's Simon, who she calls, is it Papa Dada, something of those, one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Papa thing, yeah. And Porsha said, oh, he's at work. And then Pilar said, when he's coming back. And then Porsha teared up. And Porsha said because of that, she did send Simon a text message that he left on read, literally, because he has to read the receipts on child. So she felt in that moment this is done, and she said out of her own mouth she doesn't love him anymore. What did you two make of that scene? Did you feel like you now got a chance to really see a little bit more of what was going on in their relationship?
Claudia, you go, because these fucking sirens in the background.
I'll try to make it quick. On one hand, I was actually surprised that she got emotional over Simon, because I never thought that she really loved him like that. I thought it was just like a money grab. So that was shocking to me. I was like, wow, I didn't know that she really liked him. But then you do see some videos of online where they're dancing. Look at they're having a good time. Again, I would like to know her origin story, because you want to give grace to people. You want to be like, oh, I feel bad for her. Then you also think, well, damn, you took someone else's dude and you was kind of like flaunting it all over social media and didn't think about how you broke someone else's heart. But even with that being said, that she did do that, okay, you can still have empathy for someone that's going through something. That's an awful thing that Simon's doing. Mm-hmm. To come into someone's life, present yourself as this Prince charming minus the looks. And sorry, it's giving. I'm not gonna say it was giving. Y'all know what old famous female actress he looks like. Florida Evans. Okay, but oh man, it's not good. So anyways, come into someone's life, bond with someone's child, marry them, and give that child a sense of stability, like we're a family together. And then when it doesn't work out with a mom and then she reaches out to you and you ignore, that's fucked up of you, Simon. You should be ashamed of yourself, but you're not, because you're a scammer. I told y'all a long time ago he wasn't who he said he was, but y'all didn't want to believe me. Y'all thought I was a hater. I told y'all, my sources said he got rich from a scam. He got intercepted some money that wire. We'll get into that another time. But I'm saying
allegedly,
of course, I heard allegedly. That's awful, Simon. If no matter what issues you have with Porsha, you did come into her life and bond with that child, and you should still be the bigger person. Well, you are the bigger person, the wider person. You should still go and respond to text about that little girl that is bonded with. That's fucked up. And I felt for Porsha on that. I thought that was really jacked up.
I felt for Porsha too. I think that Porsha is aware that showing emotionally vulnerable moments like that will make people empathetic to the breakdown of her relationship with Simon, because most people really didn't give a damn what she had to say. They felt like we were introduced to Simon with another woman, and we were introduced to that couple through Porsha. And people then saw Porsha go on to be in a very public marriage with him in spite of all of that. We went on to see Porsha speak about how the relationship between Fallon and Simon was not what we thought it was. And she gave us all sorts of context as to why she was confident in her choice to move forward in a relationship with Simon, right? But a lot of people never reconciled that as viewers. They always felt that she was being deceitful in her pursuit of him, and that there was absolutely an overlap in those relationships ending. It's not my place to say. I don't know. You end up in love, however you end up getting there, right? But when it comes to people feeling for Porsha in the breakdown of that marriage, conversations like the one she had on Shamia's patio with the other ladies will aid her. They will help her in being likable, help her in people understanding where she's coming from. But there will still be people, excuse me, that won't buy it. There will still be people that feel like Porsha was absolutely aware of what she was doing, having that conversation on camera. There will be people who feel like Porsha was putting on for the cameras, just like a lot of people thought Brit was when she went to Shamia's house the day after she made the gun comment, and she started doing all that damage control when they were sitting in that living room, and she was saying, I didn't mean that, I didn't have that, all of that. So was it performative? Maybe, but who knows? All we know is that we're not looking at Simon. We're grateful for that, not because of how he looks, but because he's an exhausting person to watch on camera, because he's so thirsty to be there. That's why we have to deal with, we had previously to deal with social media posts from him. We were inundated with his feelings on everything when this show is called The Real Housewives of Atlanta, not The Real Couples of Atlanta. We don't really give a fuck what Simon got to say, but he wanted us to. And I think that that's why it's so refreshing to watch the show in his absence. So was Porsha being fake? We don't know. Maybe she wasn't. Either way it goes, I hope she gets the healing that she needs. I'll just put it like that.
I wanna ask you two this. When Porsha and Simon got together, she shared the story already in terms of what happened. But I want to know if this makes a difference at all. Phelan became pregnant months after she revealed she was pregnant. Let me say that. Phelan revealed she was pregnant months after her and Simon were separated by another man. And this man name is Jalen. Claudia, am I mistaken that was she on the season of the couple show that you did for VH1?
No, I recommended them for that, and she got with my agent. She was the next year.
Okay. So there were some allegations of cheating, that Phelan was cheating on Simon with Jalen. That's what Simon said, child, right? When she became pregnant by this other man after being separated, does that make a difference in terms of people thinking Porsha stole someone's happy marriage, or was the marriage clearly in trouble, hence the fact that Phelan was pregnant with another man's baby?
No, it don't, because the umbrage that people have taken with that whole situation had nothing to do with the state of Fallon. They're gonna get you for calling her Phelan, Carlos. Her name is Fallon.
I'm sorry.
It's Fallon.
I'm sorry.
Like she failed.
I'm not. First of all,
You tried it.
Listen, no, of all three of us, Claudia is the clever one with her shade. I'm not that clever. I'm loud, gay, and funny. Yeah. I ain't the most clever with my reads. I'll give you a bottle of Bing every once in a while. So it's Fallon.
Yeah,
Fallon.
It's Fallon. Okay. Fallon Pina, and I think his name is Jalen Banks.
Fallon, I'm sorry. Okay, Fallon, I'm sorry. I say notifications instead of notifications.
It's
so excuse
charming.
Me, baby girl.
It's charming. She needs to appreciate it. But I don't think that people had an issue with it because of the state of, nobody gave a damn really about the state of Fallon and Simon's marriage. What people took issue with was the fact that Porsha was on camera being introduced to Simon by Fallon, you know what I'm saying, who he was married to at the time, and she was now in a relationship with him. That just the optics of that just were not positive. No matter how fucked up Fallon and Simon's marriage was, no matter if she was fucking on the Jalen guy at the time or not, none of that matters. People did not like the optics of Porsha. That's why Kelly this season is able to crack jokes about Porsha stealing somebody's man. That's what it was always about. We don't really care if they was having problems or not. It's the way that it looked. It just didn't look right,
But Dustin, I want to ask you this. If a couple is married and there's hints of infidelity and separation and a not so happy marriage, And if we are people who say we don't care what people think or how things look, and listen, when it came to Fallon, because Lord, I don't want to because I hate mispronouncing names, child. Is it like, and again, I don't know Fallon. First of all, she's gorgeous, but I really, because I really want to know at what point is it sort of like, okay, the optics look a little crazy, but clearly both parties in the marriage moved on from the marriage clearly a while ago.
Well, here's the thing, Carlos. I think we've all arrived at that point with our POV on this now, right? Because we've seen so much play out after. We've seen babies born. Simon and Porsha went on to get married. Now they've gotten divorced. They're getting divorced. We've seen what happened. But as viewers, we were introduced to this situation at a point that took place after the breakdown of that relationship. Remember, in the real world, absolutely, as an adult, a grown-ass man, I'm aware of the complexities of love and relationships, and things happen when they're supposed to and when they're not supposed to, right? That's the reality of it. And the history of that relationship and the state of that relationship does matter. But speaking through the lens of a viewer on this show, right? We weren't privy to that context. We weren't look, comment just came up. We did not have that context. We didn't know. The story started for us with, hey, Porsha's now in a relationship with Simon, who was very married to this lady named Fallon. And that's how we were introduced to him. So that's where it began for us. Had that story been told and produced through the show, had we been introduced to Simon and Fallon's home, Fallon was a guest on the show. She really wasn't even a friend of the show in season 13. She was simply a guest. So we never got a view into their relationship. We didn't know none of that shit. All we knew was that was her husband, and now Porsha was with him and posted a picture with Dennis in the damn picture with them. We were confused as fuck, and I don't think a lot of now we know what happened, right? So now everybody, the heat has cooled off on that, but that's what our experience was. We didn't get that. We didn't know that. All we knew was she was with Fallon's husband, and we was like, what the hell is going on here? So
as the journalist, former journalist, it is a blessing and a curse that information comes to me all the time. Like, I know things, and I'm like, how much you want to say before, yeah, you're a hater. It wasn't just Porsha and Simon. Okay. Allegedly.
What do you mean it wasn't just Porsha and Simon?
There was other people in the situation as well. So let's get into this real quick. Since I'm already going to be called the hater on the show. I think there was a bit of reverse engineering with that storyline. We see Fallon, we see Simon, she's married to him, and then invites Porsha over, and Porsha is clearly acting, first of all, how she was acting a little thirsty around him. And lo and behold, they've been messing around for a long time, okay? That was shady. Then after the fact, after they have their full-on relationship, when Fallon gets pregnant by the assistant, it's, well, she was cheating the whole time. Was she? Would you really go on a show, Housewives, with your cheating wife if you knew at the time she was cheating on you with the help? No, you wouldn't. He didn't know that. That wasn't happening when that filmed that scene when Porsha came to the house. That's bullshit. That is reverse engineering. Like, you get caught in something. You're like, well, let me just act like I knew they was cheating on us for me first, so I can justify why I did that. People ate it up because Fallon did not have the platform. People don't really know her. They're more familiar with Porsha. They love her. She's a very loyal fan base. So it was like, oh, Fallon, please, you're just a little dumb girl that screwed the help. You fumbled the bag. No, she left. She got cheated on, and then got with a man that was good looking. And I know it's not about looks, but who actually she felt cared for her heart more. I think Simon collects women like trophies. I really don't know if he loved any of these women. I feel like he wants to be famous, and Porsha's even said that. I think he uses women. He wants to be on reality TV. I think he's an attention whore, and I think Simon thinks he's the bad bitch in the relationship. Fallon told me that he was pushing her to get on Housewives of Atlanta before they got on there. So he's been wanting to be on reality. So he's been wanting a peach. And then what does he do? Big gesture with Porsha, marries her, 4 weddings, whatever. And then he used her. And I do feel bad for Porsha in that regard, because I do think maybe she really did care for him. And he was really liking her, but loving the attention. Because the way he carries on social media is giving such bad bitch energy and influencer.
It's really excessive. You can tell it's important for him. You could tell it's important for him, and all he wanted was the attention, which makes me think, was that shit going on between Fallon and Jalen, and maybe he did know, and because they now have the opportunity to be on the show, fuck it, he let him go ahead and film because he wanted to be on the show. You know what I'm saying? I think that's plausible. I'm not saying we know. I just think that's plausible. I think both what you're saying and what I'm saying is possible.
Wait, we saying about
Simon and his intentions, right?
I think we're all saying the same thing about Simon and his intentions.
He was using Porsha or Fallon, whoever, by any means necessary.
Yes. What Phaedra said, he doing both. I think it was both of them. He was thirsty. He wants to be on the television, bro, and that's why watching him was so exhausting for a nigga like me, because I could see straight through that shit. And he's not. I didn't sign up to watch him. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad he's not on this season because I did want to see Porsha. I never wanted to see him. I'm glad he's gone off the show, taking up space and bringing nothing but negative bullshit. Like, I'm glad he's gone. So I'll just leave it there.
More tea. He is a thirst bucket because I went to his page one day and he was following me. How are you following the girl that me and your girl have had beef before? And then when I clocked his ass on TGIF and we started talking about it, he quickly unfollowed me. But I took a screenshot. Simon, you want attention from anyone you can. You want any kind of inroads to be on reality television. I told y'all he got his money in ill-begotten ways, allegedly. And we had this huge corporation worth all this money, you rent and everything. And then your office is a desk and a fax machine. Where is the business? Where is it, Simon? Where is it? Where is it?
Who is this hoe? What did Kenya say? So who is this hoe? Who is this hoe?
I was not juggling.
Hey, you know what's so funny? Randomly, let's get up out all of that shit, right? Kenya really thought that she was gonna have an iconic moment with the whole the Megan lyric repetition, right? Saying I been that bitch, still that bitch, am that bitch. She thought that was gonna be a big moment. It failed. She thought that the blowing and paying dust was gonna be a moment. It flopped. But the hit, her number one hit record, okay, of that whole album she presented us with was Who Is This Hoe? When I tell you that is a part of my vernacular now, when things don't make no sense, who is this hoe? It don't even have to be about a person. It can be about a noun in general, a person, a place, or a thing. All of those can be hoes. And thank you, Kenya Moore. That's your line right there. At least she did get a hit out of this season with Who Is This Hoe? Because I can't stop saying it. I love Who Is This Hoe?
I like that.
Who is this hoe? That's my new shit.
I am the moments. She was murdering her. Like,
she ate her up on that table.
I hate that she's not on there to battle verbally. You know,
sorry. Me too.
I try so hard to just sit here with a straight face with the two of you, and it has been very challenging. Anytime we talk, but more in this episode than ever. Okay, so I want to read. I'm like this. So I want to read a few super chats before we go. Once again, an amazing episode. Okay. Renee said, congratulations on the new home. Dustin.
Yes.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, y'all.
Okay. We have Corey. Are we forgetting Kenya posters? Also alleged insurance fraud, and that is a financial crime.
That's a good point.
Her license.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Now that's a good damn point. It could have been the insurance fraud shit.
But check this out, because not only do we have housewives who watch Monday Night Live, we also have insurance agents. So we have this message. I love my raindrops. Jolie Noor said, I'm a licensed agent, and it sounds like she just didn't renew her license. There's an education requirement every 2 years. And if you don't do it and renew, it suspends your license, which could be true. But again, we listened. Brit said she lost her license courtesy of what happened.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're like, again,
I think she's lying. Her LinkedIn, why would you turn it off in 2023? Why would you do that? When you get fired or you lose a job, you end employment, you go and change and you amend things. You don't I don't understand. She did that way before she even thought she was a thought of being on Housewives. She did that 2 noses ago. So why are we still,
Claudia,
why we?
please.
I ain't shit today. I'm admitting it. I'm a mean girl today. Y'all listen, when I'm nice, y'all don't appreciate it.
Claudia, you had a birthday.
My birthday's over. It is the 14th. And tomorrow is tax day. So I'm taxing their asses with the truth. I've been too soft on these hoes. Too soft. The OC murder is coming back. I'm calling it like it is. Brit, you're faking. You're doing extra. You're dragging this out 10 on 20. Kenya, it was very stupid what you did. Porsha, stop being jealous of your friend because she has a better singing career than you and a better house and she's richer than you. You're still beautiful. You still got a great personality. Calm down. You don't need to do all that. Angela, no notes for you. Kelly, no notes for you. Who else is on that show?
Drew,
that shit is, get your man out the basement. Y'all need to split that shit up. That is weird as hell. But your voice sounds good in the studio. That's what I got. That's all I got.
Let me read more super chat. Lord Jesus. Okay. Love my kids said the fact that Brit said she had the internet wiped clean let me know she lives on another planet. If they were minor pics, that seems criminal. Vince Ashton, who also had another birthday. He's an Aries. Hi, Vince.
happy birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Vince. Like Brit or not, she got everyone talking. Fans are up in arms, choosing sides, and got the cast activated. She out-billioned the villain. Brit reminds me of Evelyn Lozada a little bit, her personality.
Okay.
Not okay. Rika Christine says, funny how Brit threw Kelly's businesses the bus on Watch What Happens Live last night, and Kelly was the first to stand up for her. Disgusting. Rika Christine, what she say? Dustin, did you watch it?
I watched it and I must have went to the bathroom. Now I did have company, but I watched that though. I watched it last night, so I don't remember that part, but I don't know. I know that their friendship, they're on the outs right now. There's been a breach in their friendship. I do know that. So they're not feeling each other right now. Brit and Kelly, I'm referring to.
Brit is not a girl's girl. Y'all can see that, right? She's not a girl's girl. She's like one of those, my husband, which is great. But can you have healthy relationships with other women without getting so defensive? You showed your ass already with 3 girls already. It's like episode 6, 5, 6. What was going on? Oh, she said her waffles were soggy. She said that's what they said. She said her waffles were soggy.
Oh, well, her license expired.
What?
So her license expired. That's just like when she called Angela slow. This is why I don't need to be on one of these shows. Because when she called Angela slow, I'd have been like, well, you fast. You got your titties out. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we both are our own speed. You know what I'm saying?
Carlos, someone sent you a super chat and said, you hoes better put some respect on Porsha's name.
Wait, I gotta go through that first. But Brandon Martin first. I read all super chat shout. Even though y'all read me, I don't care. Brendan Martin said, I'm late. Claudia has a deal or no deal briefcase behind her. What incarnation? I'm rewinding this live after it's over.
Thank you, Brandon.
Hayden said, tell them Claudia as a hashtag former journalist.
That's right.
Kiki Alex, Porsha. Brendan Martin, oh my gosh, Claudia. God's butterfly. All Aries speaks their mind. Sorry, Carlos.
We do.
Okay.
We definitely do that.
He said, Yo Gotti was like Snapchat, me that kitty, and you did, Kenya Moore.
Ooh, tomato.
Okay. And
who is this hoe?
in the LDN2 said, you hoes better put some respect.
I'm sorry.
They actually called us hosses. So I guess we're hosses. You hosses better put some respect.
Oh, hosses.
Yeah, we're hosses. So thank you. Yeah.
Hoss sounds kind of cute. Like I want to be a hoss.
Me too. Is that hoe in London speak? Is that in it? What is it? You know what I'm saying? What's hoe in London speak?
Oh my God. I love this messy show. Y'all are amazing. Claudia and Dustin, once again, an amazing episode. Make sure you guys watch Love and Marriage Detroit every Saturday, 8 o'clock Central. Oh, before I let y'all go, and watch the Real Housewives every Sunday. Subscribe to Porsha's new YouTube channel, Porsha
Yes.
4 Real, the number 4 Real. And Kenya Moore has a YouTube channel too. Okay, so tomorrow, Dustin and Claudia,
Mm-hmm.
I am dropping another exclusive interview.
Mm-hmm.
With who?
So raindrops, listen up. I'm dropping it's a 2-on-1. I'm dropping a 2-on-1. Dustin knows. I'm dropping a 2-on-1 exclusive interview tomorrow. I may do it around 10 o'clock in the morning with Cynthia Bailey.
Okay.
Minkoff
Mm-hmm.
from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Claudia, your name comes up.
What, now why am I in it? Is that how they say it? Now why am I in it? Is that
Yeah.
the line? I think I said it wrong.
So make sure you guys watch it. Make sure you
Hold
guys
on.
watch
Is it bad? Because if it's bad, I want to.
No. You and Cynthia are fine, please. But your name comes up because everybody watches Monday Night Live, and if everybody likes to text people, so make sure y'all guys watch it tomorrow. Cynthia Bailey said this is the last time she's addressing this Kenya situation. Okay, so make sure you guys watch it. Hear what she has to say. Crystal from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, me. Because she said, I heard you called me boring. It's a whole thing. So y'all gotta watch it. It's a good back and forth, but it's a great recap. So again, tomorrow on my YouTube channel, Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Minkoff on Reality with the King.
Yeah.
And Claudia's name is Mitch, and so is Dustin's.
I feel like, see, I'm one of those people, if you say, I need to talk to you about something, but tomorrow, I'm like, wait, what? What is it? What happened? So I know.
I know.
I already start thinking negative, like, wait, did I say something bad?
It's not negative. No. Watch it.
It's okay.
All right.
This was fun.
Any parting words before I let you guys go?
No, because what I was gonna say was gonna get us in trouble. So no.
Really, say it.
Yeah, no, because y'all ain't finna Kenya Moore my ass and have my score blank for the rest of the season. I don't think so. I'll see y'all next week. Yeah.
I had fun. I know it was a little extra spicy today. I don't apologize. I said what I said, and I meant everything I said.
You said. That's why you in that square, so you can say what you got to say. We don't make no apologies for our commentary over here. No. We're smart and focused and funny, and if we're asked a question, we're gonna motherfucking answer it the way we want to, and without regard to anything other than being fair and honest. Beyond that, you ain't gotta like it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that.
I forgot. I wanted to shout out Erica Cobb and watch our podcast.
Shout out Erica Cobb. Yes.
I'm coming. We're gonna come to New York soon. We'll all hang out. And Carlos, you gotta fly in, and we gotta all hang out. So please watch every Wednesday. Absolutely. I'm a little more well behaved over there than with you guys. I am. But we
are you okay?
Well, sometimes not. But we have great commentary.
Like that C Murder shit. I'll take the C Murder. C Murder is over here with us, and that's why
right.
I like
honey, buddy, pudding pie.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I have a flight to catch. We love y'all, raindrops, and we'll see y'all back again next week.
Bye.